One thing I see a lot of people asking is, what oil filter should I use for this, or what belt do I need for that? And in this video, I'm going to try to show you guys how you can use John Deere's website to easily and pretty quickly, in most cases, find the parts you need. So if you need a new blade-to-blade mower deck belt, if you need a new oil filter, if you need a new headlight switch, whatever the case may be, I'm going to show you guys how to utilize John Deere's parts catalog and find that information out for yourself. All right, so I'm going to show you guys a few different ways that you can go through and use John Deere's website in order to find replacement parts that you may need, whether this be just a yearly routine maintenance type part, or if you break a part or need a replacement, something like that. So there's going to be a few ways to do it. The first one, probably the easiest way to do it, is if you're looking for routine maintenance parts. So I'm not sure if you'll be able to see all the drop downs, but if I come, let's see here, up to parts and service, and then down to owner information, we'll click on that. And keep in mind, this is their current layout. If you're watching this years from now, from the release date of this, it may change. Things might be a little bit a different location. But anyway, under owner's information, you're then going to select a category. So this is going to be a drop down, and I'm not sure that this shows on the video, so you're going to have to take my word. But then you're going to select what type of equipment you have in here. Now we have commercial walk-behind mowers, compact utility tractors, front mowers and wide area motors, gators, golf and sports turf, lawn tractors, stand-on mowers, and zero turns. So depending on what you have, you can select any one of these. I'm going to select lawn tractors because this, of course, is what I kind of specialize in. Subcategory, then you're going to choose what you have. So there's a whole bunch of prefixes here for 100 series. You have D's, E's, L's, LA, no prefix 100 series, and then the new S prefix. You're also going to have 200 series, the S200s, the Select Series 300s, Select Series X500s, and then the Signature Series X700. Now, some things to keep in mind with these is there are going to be some crossovers between different years. So like some of the stuff you'll see on the X700s is going to be similar for most X700s. If it's diesel for diesels, if it's gas for gas. An example of that would be if it is the routine like yearly maintenance kit that you can buy. Like I put on my 758, the box doesn't actually say 758 on it, but it'll come up as the same part number. It just shows as an older 700 model. So there are instances like that. There are older X500 series tractors. So you gotta take this part with a grain of salt. This is more so for their current stuff. But we'll just select X700 for now. I'll show you kind of what you'd be looking at with that. So then it brings up a few categories here. So you got older X710s, older X728s, and then you get into the newer stuff, the 730, 34, 38, and 39, and then the 750, 54, and 58. So from here, you can pretty much click on whatever you have. I myself would be clicking on X758. Say you have an X739, you can click on there. Brings you to this page. Now from here you can get a PDF version of the operator's manual. This isn't by any way, shape, or form the service manual that a lot of people look for. This is just kind of what you get when you get the tractor. But say you're buying one used, doesn't have the operator's manual with it, you can get it from here. Parts diagram, I want to say I haven't really explored that too much, but that's probably just going to take you to something I'll talk about a little bit later. Safety and how-to videos, so it probably just has your basic startup and how to operate the machine type deals in there. Attachments, you can see what attachments would be available for the tractor. Specifications, if you're wondering about any specifications of the tractor that you have, and then the model page, you can actually go to the current page for that tractor that's being sold. Now, for looking at maintenance parts, you see it kind of shows everything that's here. You're going to then select which mower deck you have. That way it'll bring up everything for your tractor plus the mower deck that you have. So let's say you have a 739 with a 54-inch deck. We'll click on that one, and then here it brings you up this nice little quick reference guide that shows you everything in the way of like just routine parts that you may need. So say you need a new blade to blade belt, it's going to be 15 on this little on this list here. Fan belt, that's not probably the right one. Very weird. I don't know why it's not showing parts for that, unless it's calling them all a fan belt. Must be. I don't think it points to an actual fan belt for like the radiator. That's kind of weird how they have that labeled. Well, anyway, if they're calling all of them a fan belt, it's going to be that part number there. So you can get that. If you need blades, number 14 there shows you the blades. So you can either get the high lift or mulching blades, gives you exactly what you need. I still don't like how they call that fan belt. Sometimes Deere does this goofy stuff where they call things weird names. I looked up something earlier. They called it a hopper, but it's actually a weight tray. It didn't involve this tractor specifically, but just weird things. But like oil filter number 4, you know, there you have your part number. So you can find everything real easy at this page. So pretty convenient. There is a way too that I'll show you later on. You can pull up like a quick reference guide for this as well, but I think we got to go in through the parts catalog. So I'm just going to come back here again. We'll just look at another one real quick. We'll go lawn tractor again. It's acting weird. And this time, let's say you have a brand new S100 series. Let's say you got a nice S180. So here, click on maintenance part. You'll see you have the same different types of things, but this one actually has a little button here for maintenance parts. You're not going to have options because you don't have different deck options like you do with the 700 series, but this is going to bring up this maintenance reminder sheet. And this is something that you're going to see from pretty much all the tractors that have just a single option mower deck, and there is a way to get to them for 700s as well. But this is really nice. It's one page. It shows you everything you need. So you could pretty much print one of these out, I don't know, laminate it or something nice, and then just keep it with your owner's manual or whatever. That way, whenever you go to get replacement parts, you know, you can look on here and it gives you everything you need. So really handy little sheet that you can get for these to help you find the maintenance stuff you need. So rather than, you know, posting online somewhere asking, oh, what oil filter do I need, or, you know, what oil, how much, just tells you engine oil, turf guard 1030 and 2.8 quarts. So shows you exactly what you need. So again, really handy to know about this simple maintenance reminder. So now I'm going to go into the actual parts catalog. So we're going to come back up. I'll go back to their home page. So from the home page, we'll come up here to parts and service, and then we're going to go to parts, and then lawn and garden. And then you have shop parts, so you can search the online store or you can figure out where a dealer is. But we're going to go to this find parts, the link that says search parts catalog. And then from here, you can do a number of different searches. So you can search by the serial number of your piece of equipment, but I haven't always had the best of luck doing that. You can search by the model number, or you can kind of like type in the equipment name. So there's a couple different ways here, and then you can also change the search. So if you have a specific part number of something that you're looking for, or documents for something, you can look through different things. These are a list of just, I don't know if you can see them, but previous searches I've done. I was looking for stuff for an X720, the 758, of course, 210 that I have, and then just looking up older stuff on the S100s. Now, in here, so let's just go X739 again, like what we looked at earlier. Just type in X739, search that, and then it brings up a nice picture of an old X700 tractor. They don't update these like they do with the other series of lawnmowers. But you see over on the side here, you got a ton of different options of different things you can select. Also, if we come down here, I talked about the reminder sheets. So at the bottom, you got an introduction sheet here, and then you got these maintenance reminder sheets for each deck. So again, if we have the 739 with a 54-inch, we can click on that, and it's going to bring us up that maintenance reminder sheet like what I showed for the 180. So even if you do have one of these big tractors, it may not show it on that other page. You'll have to dig just a little deeper to get to this. But you can still see it's pretty easy to get to, and this shows you everything you need. Your engine oil capacities, high guard capacity, and everything. So it even gives change intervals. All this stuff is here, so really, really, really convenient for all that routine stuff. All right, so back to the parts catalog. Now this is if you're looking for something way more advanced for the most part. This is gonna give you a breakdown of every part on the machine, and this is gonna be less just regular homeowner has one of these just to cut their grass. Like, you gotta have a good bit better mechanical knowledge, or at least be able to kind of pick your way through things and figure out what part's what. Those maintenance reminder sheets, that's good for the person that just wants to save some money, do that simple maintenance themselves, and not have to worry about taking it to the dealer. If you're out of the warranty, you don't want to take anything to a dealer, you would rather work on the stuff yourself, this is going to be where you need to go. So it could be anything. Honestly, I don't even know what a good example would be of stuff to look for. But we could just go into it, say maybe hydraulics. So you're having a hydraulic issue, click on that, and it'll bring up different pictures of different things that you need. So you have here number 1, that's the SCV. So we'll click on selective control valve, and then it's going to give you this breakdown of all the parts relating to the SCV. So maybe you have a damaged handle of some sorts and you need to find, one of those bars. Well, number 11 is going to be one of your control levers. And there it is. So from my dealer up where I'm at, $46.44 at this time to replace that control lever from the dealer. And that's something you would likely easily be able to do yourself rather than take to a dealer. So you can save all the, shop time and all that, and, fix it yourself for $40-something. Maybe you have an issue with one of the actual valves on the SCV. You can get in there and replace things like that. I don't know that it necessarily talks about the rebuild kit on here. I forget where I've had to go to find that. But they make like rebuild kits for the valves and different things like that. But like say any one of these pieces, let's see what's one there. It looks like a pretty small part. Hexagonal prevailing torque nut M8. So just that looks like it's probably a nut that just fastens this to the frame. Like I said, I'd have to dig into it more. What's 19 here? It looks like a little elbow fitting. Yep, elbow adapter fitting, $24. So, say you need an O-ring. Maybe you have a leaky O-ring, number 18. Round cross-section O-ring, $2.13. And then it gives you your part number there, how many you would need, for this drawing. So this drawing, it's telling you there's 2 in it. So we got one right here and we got one right here. So pretty handy if you're trying to rebuild something like this, or maybe you have a bunch of leaks and you're just trying to, replace all that stuff. It gets you all your O-rings. Number 16 there's small is another small O-ring. 4 of those on this whole assembly. So, if you're buying used, this might be your best friend as to find out how many of these pieces for this area that you need. We'll go back a bit, and I mean, you can see all the pieces for the, hydraulic function is on here. And you'll have to kind of jump around between different things too, because sometimes things aren't always the easiest to find, particularly with like electrical. It's kind of challenging to decipher some of this and how many different numbers and things you are. That's why I say you really gotta know what you're looking at and know kind of alternate ways, I should say, to get to different areas of these diagrams. Of course, I come out to the garage to do this so I could have some peace and quiet, and the stupid boiler has to kick on. So anyway, yeah, electrical can get a little bit challenging, so you really need to know what you need to be looking at. When it comes to looking for controls, or if you're looking for certain connectors, like on this different piece of wiring, it gets pretty challenging if you're doing electrical. Honestly, I wish I had some better ideas. It's kind of hard to do this without having something particular in mind to look at. But another thing that I know a lot of people would probably be interested in using this for is if you're looking for accessories, or like how I was using it quite a bit when looking at ordering my 700, was the whole thing about wheels. So if you click on wheels, frame, and operator station, you got here number 8 is going to be the wheels and tires. So you can click on this and it's going to show you the different wheels that you have available for this machine. So you can see you got your special edition wheels, the aluminum spoked wheels, and then you have the older style steel wheels with the little cutouts in them. These are a little bit fancier. These were the special edition type of wheel that you would find on the previous 700 model. The later ones, when they started coming out with like their special editions, whereas their standard ones would have just had the more basic steel wheel. So one thing, and if you've been following me in my channel, you would know I have a set of steel wheels that I got new when I got the tractor. That way I could put ag tires on and then add weights. So neither of these wheels, you can add weights. I think they make an adapter ring that you can run weights on the older special edition steel wheel. And they kind of make it look sometimes like you can put it on the new aluminum one, but it doesn't actually show it anywhere. So it's one of those things you got to kind of dig around, and you can see there's other things here too. Front wheel and tire kit, another front wheel and tire kit. This is the older style one for the older 4-wheel steer, 4-wheel drives. So there's different stuff here. You got to kind of look around and know what you need, but honestly, if it says under 739 and you're looking for these older style wheels for whatever reason, or for any tractor for that matter in the 700s, obviously I'm looking at a 39 right now, you can go through this and find other stuff that they've used. So here again is the older style. For me, when I was looking through this on the 758, it would not show, as far as I remember. Let me go back to it just so you guys can kind of see what I was seeing. So this is under the 758 now, and I don't think, let's see, I don't know that it had, so this is showing the bar tires, and then this wheel, part number 12, 16, 28. That might be the wheel that I got. Yeah, I think it is. I can't remember exactly the part number I got. I'd have to look it up. But, that's an older style steel wheel. And then here you can see the special edition rim, optional. That might have been the older style special edition. but you can indeed put the older style steel wheels on the 758, even though if you look up top here, wheels and tires, this is only going to show your ones that you're used to seeing on a 758. But basically, when it comes to like the 700s, your newer stuff and then the older 700s, they're basically the same tractor. There are differences in the frame a little bit, cutouts and things like that. However, for the most part, you're going to see a lot of similar parts. Everything's going to fit almost the same. I mean, there will be differences when it comes to like the body panels and stuff, but like a lot of different parts on the machines are very similar, especially basic parts like wheels, tires, things like that. So keep in mind, not everything will cross over perfectly, but you are going to find a lot of similarities. Like I was jumping back between the 758 here and the 748, and then even back to the X595. I was jumping between those, you know, making sure I was looking at all the same part numbers on everything, and then I took my shot at the wheels and the lug nuts and everything, and you know, it ended up working out. I got everything that I was looking for the way I wanted it. Everything fit properly. So you can use things that you know, are for older tractors that may not necessarily, you know, be advertised or show on them new. You're not going to hurt anything. But then it's just, you know, it's really convenient having all this, because you can see even like different. Let me try to find one of the, I'm still in wheels and all that. I'll only show you like the 3-point hitch. That's a pretty good. So here, number 1, 3-point hitch, cat 1. So here, if you have a 3-point hitch, say maybe you're buying one used and you are missing parts of it, or somebody was only selling a certain part of it because they didn't feel like taking stuff off the tractor. Now, I will tell you, this is going to be extremely expensive to try to piece one of these together. If you have to buy 1 or 2 parts here and there, probably not too bad, but you better hope you don't need like one of the draft arms or something, because they are not cheap. We can see over here at this point the 3-point hitch, which is number 1, so it's showing literally everything here. The whole thing you can buy for $1,100. Luckily, I got mine when it was only about $9 or so. So that's kind of the reason I wanted to get all these accessories right off the bat. And you probably should too, even if you're not planning on using them right away, because these things are just going to keep going up. And they're not even the most cheap to buy used either, really. But yeah, I mean, you can see, like, let's see, say you're buying one of these and somebody didn't want to, you know, take too much off the tractor that involved like a lot of, I guess I'll say, in-depth work. I mean, this overall isn't really hard to do, but say they didn't want to take this lift strap off, so you need that, part number 15, or say you bend one or break one somehow. Part number 15, there's the strap, it's $121, and you can see what I mean. That's not cheap for how simple that strap is. Literally, it just has 1, or well, I guess 2 little tiny bends in it, and then some slots cut out. That's about it. It's not a complicated part, but they're expensive. But I'll show you the let's do one of the draft arms here. I want to say 13 maybe is what it's pointing at. One of the links, $352.50. That's the lower left hand. So, you know, if you need to replace one of those, if you bend one or break one, you probably better off trying to find a way to either A, bend it back into shape, or if it's broken or something, like get it re-welded. To pay $352, like, that's insane. You could probably spend that much again and then maybe get like a Rug hitch or something. They're significantly cheaper than the Deere branded one. And I hear they work just as good and they install basically the same. I know people have commented on my video about installing the John Deere 3-point hitch on these. They say they use the instructions to install Rug, and they said it was fine. It was pretty much exactly the same, and it worked great. So definitely an option there if you have to replace one of those. So but this is just kind of show you, like, it gives you a complete breakdown, every part, every nut, every bolt, every little spring clip, everything you need is here. One last thing I'll show you guys on how you can use this parts catalog is if you're searching for accessories. So I actually had somebody comment on a video, and I actually still have to reply to them at the time of making this video. I still need to reply, give them an answer on it, but they were asking about the it was one of the tow behind accessories, the aerator spreader. And these can be kind of tricky because they don't have a John Deere, well, they have a John Deere part number, but they don't. It's not going to be like one of these tractors like an X758. It's not going to be an X300 or an X330. Like it's not going to be a number like that. It's something different, and it won't pop up, I don't believe, if you just search that. So you're better off just searching the name. So what you can do is you can go in there, and if we tell you aerator spreader and search for that, we get a couple options here, but you can see aerator attachment, 40-inch aerator spreader, 40-inch plug aerator, spiker aerator, thatcherator. Essentially, these are the Brindley made attachments, but Deere has their breakdowns on here for it. So if we're looking for, let's just say, the thatcherator. So the thatcherator is like that, the tow behind thatcher that I have. I got my extensions on it. It's what, 56-inch wide, I think, with those extensions. But essentially it started out as a 40-inch thatcherator. So we'll click on there. And then this is a breakdown. So say I need a new tine set. The new tine set here, 22. You can go down, and 22, 14 bucks for a tine set. So I guess that's not too terrible. You need 10 of them to do the whole thing. So, it makes it easy to find parts. And like I said, these are all Brindley made attachments. So keep that in mind. You can actually use that knowledge to your advantage and find some of these parts, not specifically for the Deere one, but they are shared between Brindley and the Deere ones that they make. You can find a lot of these parts on Brindley's website for a lot cheaper. So you could probably find their tine aerator or tine thatcher and get this part for probably half that, if not less. I'll just show you what I was looking at earlier. So this is the aerator spreader. And keep in mind, there's going to be two different diagrams. So this one, the first one here, is numbers on the diagram 1 to, I think, like 31 or 39. And then the second one is where it picks up to the end. So you have two different ones depending on what part number you need. But essentially, they were looking at the time for this weight tray, which I think I was talking about earlier, how they call it something weird. They call it a hopper on here. And then they're also looking for this chain guard over here, number 63. So on this page, like I said, it only goes to 30 something. So this chain guard is going to be in that other diagram. But 14 here, we'll look at that. See, they call it a hopper, but look, $141 at this time. This is insane for that part. And unfortunately, Brindley's spreader like this, where it has essentially the same parts for the most part, the tow bar for it's a little different, and theirs doesn't have this weight tray that I know. So you can't really find that much cheaper. So I'm still gonna have to look around for this this viewer so that I can get them a good answer on where to get this at hopefully not $141. But then we'll look at the chain guard, and this one's probably gonna surprise you too. So 60. Let's just see. Yeah, this only goes down to 37. So we're looking for 63 on the list, and we'll scroll down here. 63, the shield, $98, $100 for this little plastic piece. That is insane. I looked this up on Brindley. This part's only like, I think, $7 or $8 from Brindley on theirs, and it's the same thing. So it's definitely worth your while to, you know, find your part on here if need be. If you want to buy it from Deere, buy it from Deere. Like, to me, it seems weird that the chain is only 20 and just the shield is that much more. Like, I would think if anything the chain would be a lot more than the shield. I wonder what the gears are. 65. That's saying shot. 168 for that. Jeez. Wait, what's 66? Oh, the roller chain. That one is 2277. So what's it saying 62 is? Sorry, I'm just curious now because these prices are, like I said, pretty absurd. 62 is up here. Wow, the chain just for the little pins to hold it on at the hitch. Just that little chain, $20 up at the front. That's crazy. All right, I'm gonna get off that high horse, but yeah, use Brindley's webpage to your advantage if you can find similar looking parts, and I'm sure there's websites out there that you can get these parts for cheaper than your dealer. And this is also my dealer, so the prices are probably inflated quite a bit. I think, let me show just one other thing that you'll have to pay attention to actually before I let you guys go. Not that, you know, I'm doing anything to keep you here. But if you're, say, looking, and I'm only going to show this specifically because it happens on my 210. So I'm going to do 210 and then tractor, lawn, and garden. Now this isn't pulling up a picture, but it still does have a breakdown of everything. So this makes it a little bit harder to kind of find exactly what you need because it's not numbered. However, and even then, I don't think it shows it. I don't think it shows it on 210. And these ones are weird because they have different part. Like this one actually has a model number for the deck, so it's a 39 mower tractor mounted, 39 and 47. Okay, so if we're looking at mower deck, drive assembly, sheaves, idlers, and belts. So if you're looking at the belt, you can see there's this thing over here that we don't see on a lot of the others, but it says illustration notes available. So if you click on that, it's going to give you this little parentheses A and parentheses B. So it's going to show you the model number and then the horsepower of the tractors and then the serial number. So it's going to be everything to these serial numbers. And then this is going to be everything with these serial numbers and on. So anything with an A is going to fall in this range. Anything with a B is going to fall in this range in all 200s. So for example, number 10 here, this is going to be the belt that goes from the drive pulley on the deck to the actual PTO on the tractor. So if we go down to number 10, you can see there's multiple number 10s. 7 number 10s. Pretty wild. So what we're gonna do, like for mine, and it's crappy because this isn't even correct. I've found other literature and talking to other people, I've gotten a different part number than what this says, but it says B for all tractors that are 200 series. So we need to look for number 10 with a B. A, see this one's B. That one's B. A, and B. So then you got to kind of decipher. So we then see 47. So it's not going to be this one because this is for a 47. This one is B for a 39. This one is B for a 39. So you have two different ones here. One of them is going to be 84 inches. The other's 80. And I got to be honest with you, this is pretty tough to decipher for sure. You may have to measure your old belt if you can. So if you have a belt that's ripped up, measure it and see which one it comes in at. Like I said, I don't think the belt I ended up needing for mine was either of these two. So sometimes you got to be a little careful when you're trying to buy this older stuff, because I don't know that things are well documented, and there's been so many subs over the years for all these different part numbers that you really just gotta take your time and just expect things to maybe not be exactly what you're looking for. So yeah, I would take a little more time honestly right now and go to different pages and stuff. And I mean, if I really had to, I could figure out which of these two would be better. I think the shorter one actually is better, but I'd have to look up and see. It's just weird how they do this. They give that the B and then it's for the 39. So I don't know, really goofy. I don't know why they do this, but pay attention to these notes if they have this for things that can be used for multiple different machines. Like I said, I haven't seen this before on any of the newer stuff, so you're probably not going to have to worry about it for the most part. But if you're looking for older things, you might find notes like this. But that is all I got. Like I said, I wish I had some better examples to show you guys now, show you how to use this a little bit better. But definitely take advantage of this when you're, confused or trying to find a part. You'll probably come to an answer a lot quicker going to this parts catalog search than, putting something on Facebook or whatever, waiting for somebody to reply. I myself try to help people out as best I can on those pages. If I see questions come up about part numbers, I can usually search it and find an answer pretty quick. But not everybody's that same way. Some people might be a little bit rude and tell you to go search it or do something. I luckily haven't seen too much of that. But you might save yourself a lot of time, especially if you're in a pinch, just going on here and finding it yourself real quick. And then if you have a dealer that's open, if it's on the weekend or something, you just run out there, tell them exactly the part number you need, and you'll be good to go. So yeah, that's in a nutshell, kind of a quick overview of John Deere's parts catalog search and their maintenance reminder sheets. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys maybe learned something if you weren't aware that this was available, or maybe I helped make your life a little bit easier when it comes that time to do your yearly maintenance. You don't gotta waste a bunch of time re-looking everything up or going to the dealer and hoping that they give you the right part, because I know for one, I've been there before and definitely got wrong parts. I was looking for shear pins for my snowblower one time, and I was given a couple bolts that were not shear pins. Unfortunately, didn't really pay attention or check it until I got home, and then I was like, this isn't the right part. But honestly, as cheap as they were, I didn't really care at that point, so I just hung on to them. It's no big deal. But it's a lot easier to go to the dealer and bring them that part number. You can tell them right what you want. They don't got to look through the parts catalog to try to find it. It's pretty much no questions asked. You give them the part number and that's that. So I don't want this video by any means to be a hey, don't ask me for part numbers. Please, if you guys are having trouble finding something, let me know and I'll do my best to help out. Again, that's the whole point of my channel. I'm here to help you guys out. If you need to find parts or anything like that, I'll do my best to research it and figure out, if something will work with something, or just simply, what part number is this? I know sometimes it can get really confusing, like I mentioned, finding anything electrical. That gets pretty complicated, finding connectors and different things like that. It's kind of just, it's tough to look at. If you're looking at anything like transaxle related, that's going to be tough even for me, honestly. But most of the more common stuff, accessories, things like that, I can help out with if need be. So that's all I got for this one. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.